Yes, people. Yes, welcome. Oh, Lord. Rough, rough start like the Arsenal. Welcome back to BBK Sports. I am about what? Uh, about 5 minutes late to my 8:30 start. And I apologize, people. Little technical difficulties with the StreamYard layout when I'm trying to rebuild something. But it's all good. It's all good. How are we doing? Big up to all nine of you locked in already. I saw six people waiting. I felt so humbled. So humbled. Honored and humbled by every single one of you that tune in to BBK Sports Daily. The early bird, the blue bird, the early bird in these blues saying, yo, yo, big up to you, my guy. Hope is well. The Latvian Gooner, another fantastic stream yesterday. Mr. Robo slash Latvian Gooner owns that 8 p.m. UK time slot. He owns it. There's other times a lot of people infringe upon other people's normal stream time, but big up to Mr. Robo, how he holds his own in these YouTube spaces among the colossal giants that stream on the big channels around that time. As I can see now, some of the heavy hitters around. I see Shane Gooner on. Big up to Shane Gooner every single time. Big up to Views on the clean through. Views did a fantastic watch along this morning. So did the Waffle Don. 4:30 wake up, watch Arsenal preseason game. It was a hard sell, didn't it? But the fanning would not let me sleep. I didn't catch the first half. Didn't have damn CBS Sports Network would cooperate, but I did catch the second half of the Arsenal game. But we'll get into all that, people. To the Latvian Gooner, bigging up Bluebird, Alvin saying the jams. Yeah, man, the intro music is I'm gonna change it up occasionally, but this one kind of like right now. I'm vibing to it. Kind of vibing to it. Latvian Gooner returning the favor to Bluebird. The assembled. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon to Mr. Assembled. Hope that you are good wherever you are. Big up to Mr. Battered, Liverpool extraordinaire. What we say, BBK controversy loading after preseason game. Matter of fact, you know what? I was on with Liverpool Leo like 3 streams ago, and that's one of the new rules that I made. That he, as a Liverpool fan, and this rule is applicable to you as well, Mr. Battered. You cannot use the word quad. When I said that to Leo, he was like, "You know what? You're right. I'm not going to use the word quad. What do you use when you go for 5 trophies? The quintuple, whatever. But no more quad. Because every time Liverpool talk about the quad talk, it usually crashes out, yeah? But Liverpool, big up to you. Big up to Mr. Batter, one of the most famous Liverpool fans around these parts. Mr. Bat, Egal, that you. Steven Egal, I hear starring in Top Gunner movies. Doing Top Gunner movies and all that. You already got a Mad Wake chant. I know Mr. Robo. I know Latvian Gooner has heard the Latvian chant, the Madueke chant already. Yeah, Madueke has a chant already in the Arsenal fan base. Now, people, Arsenal kicked off their Asian part of the preseason tour yesterday. Obviously, they started with the behind the scenes game against Watford, I think. The score is a mystery. Some say 2-0, some say 3-0. The goal scorers, it's a mystery. I'm hearing bicycle kicks from this man, that man. Who knows? Who cares? Preseason game for fitness. But the official away game in Singapore started. Like I said, I didn't catch the first half. I caught the second half, and there's just a quick couple of takeaways. Because at 5 a.m. waking up to watch a preseason game with just a plethora of substitutions, it's very hard to take massive takeaways from it. But one of my biggest takeaways is Kai Havertz is still shit, hot garbage still. And guess what, people? If you had to take a wild guess of who played the most minutes today for Arsenal, their first preseason game, you want to take a wild guess with what? You got it. Donkey Kai. I think he played 79 minutes. Bukayo Saka got 66 minutes, just over an hour. I think Declan Rice got over an hour. And someone else played 60-something minutes. But Kai Havertz played damn near 80 minutes. because he's Sky. I don't know how much you can read into is Mikel trying to play him into form because he reportedly was one of the scorers who scored them behind the scenes in the behind the scenes game on when was it? The day before they flew to Singapore. Yeah, but Kai Havertz played 79 minutes and he is still clumsy Kai. Man spent more time on the ground than he did on his feet. It's sometimes it's just hard for me to see what people see in Kai Havertz as a footballer, Because away from football, right? Regardless of what profession you are in life, if you are a seasoned professional in your field, if you are seasoned in your field, and you speak to someone that's supposedly in your field for 5-10 minutes, you can tell their level of competency, their level of knowledge, or if they're just full of shit. Like if a pilot sits down at a bar and says, hey ma'am, what do you do? And the other person says, I'm a pilot. The real pilot asks the person who said they're a pilot 4 or 5 questions, and they can tell if they're an actual pilot, what level they are, or if they're just full of shit. When other footballers look at Kai Havertz, I know they wonder, how is this guy, one, a professional footballer, and how is he able to scam a living at Arsenal, Chelsea, and Bayern Leverkusen? Because he is god awful. My big It's 66 minutes again. I do not have an agenda against Kai Havertz, people. I promise you I don't. But he just absolutely is too damn clumsy for me. Always on the damn ground. Don't know why. Don't know why he's always on the damn ground. But we'll pause at the 7th minute or the 8th minute because people, it is time for
Maybach music. Rosé born stunner. I can blow money. 50 Maybach music. I'm so sophisticated. To get a verse from me, you gotta Maybach music. I'm burning purple flowers. It's burning my chest. I bury the most cash. Maybach music.
YouTube has been kind to me. They haven't been giving me copyright strikes for these Rick Ross chopped up little messages that I drop in the chat for E-Ross. But big up to E-Ross checking in to BBK Sports like he always does, man. Big up to that guy. And, yesterday morning when we signed in, do you know that there still hasn't been an actual official statement by Sky Sports, Arsenal, or Sporting that we've got Gyokeres? There's still not one. So I could be made a damn fool coming in here yesterday talking about But we'll see. We'll see. As of this morning, Sky Sports is reporting that he is waiting permission. He is awaiting permission to fly to Singapore to conduct his medical and sign his contract. Permission from who? From Sporting. If he's waiting permission from Sporting, he's still a Sporting player, isn't it? He is still a damn Sporting player if he's waiting on permission. Because if the permission is from Arsenal, bro, bring your ass. Bring your ass so we do not have to play Kai Havertz against Newcastle on Sunday. Is it Sunday? I think it is Sunday, isn't it? We play that one. Bring your ass. Get on that plane. Mascara's there to sign his contract. So get over there and do your business. He is still, as of today, July 23rd, not an Arsenal player. It's absolute madness. And, I was on Arsenal Revolution TV with Rashid a couple days ago, and Moss Boss was in there, and he was just beating us up about, hey, the deal is done, which I agree that it would get done. But he was already saying that we're on the way to signing Eze already. And I'm like, oh, don't believe it. Don't believe it when I see it. It's taking so long to get this Gyokeres deal done. Still not done, as I pointed out just now. And he's meant to believe that we're in for Eze. But then, Bluebird sent this comment this morning in China, alluding to what Moss Boss was saying, that you do know that the media is usually 1 to 2 weeks behind on transfer news. And I hear that, and that's a fair challenge. That's actually a fair challenge. However, let's just say this is a matter of fact. They're 1 to 2 weeks. Let's say they're 2 weeks behind on transfer because they're not in the room with the clubs and the negotiators and all that. Okay, cool. Okay. As of today, there has not been a bid or as a per media outlets. So if it takes 2 weeks for the media to get a hold of it, if the media reported today on July 23rd that there have been links, it usually takes another 2 weeks for Arsenal to get anything moving. So 2 weeks from today, we're very close in that window to get an Emirates Eze in. And 2 weeks from today puts them, Crystal Palace, 1 week away from playing in the Community Shield. I'm not inclined to believe Palace are that negligent to just let all their best players go right before they play in the Community Shield against Liverpool, because they do not want to get embarrassed. Especially if one of those players that's been linked with a move away is Gahey to Liverpool that could play in a Community Shield against them. Absolute madness. Big up to Mr. Batter, bigging up Latvian Gooner. Jason Gooner in the building, people. Big up to Jason Gooner. Jason Gooner also did a watch along this morning for the Arsenal game. But I don't know if you agree. I don't know what you rated the Kai Havertz performance as. Don't remember you doing any kind of like ratings as you went through. But if you're going to do like a match rating for the 79 minutes that he could play, because you can look at any other player and be like, okay, Martinelli, you only got 45 minutes. Monieri, you only got 45. But the man them that got 66 minutes, you play over an hour. Kai Havertz, who played almost 80 minutes. What's your rating? How did he fare in 80 minutes of football, leading the line, playing with both units? I thought he was dead. Double dog. Yeah, that was allowed. I guess so. There's no quad talk. You man make the quad talk and then it goes tits up. Because I think it was the 2022, 2023 season. It was quad. I think that's the year you did the domestic cup double, EFL and FA Cup. But I hear it. Liverpool are the favorite, isn't it? You know, I back you, man, as favorites to win the Premier League this year. And I can't shy away from that based on how you performed last season and based on how you're moving in the transfer window. Full big boy pants on. E-Ross, the legend. Big up to you, man. And that being Gooner, you know the music was coming as soon as I saw it. You know, you saw him trip standing on the ball. No, I didn't even see that part. If that's in the first half, I definitely. Oh, is that the one over to the right-hand side? I think I saw that. I think I did see that one. And I was like, that better not have been. I thought it was one of the academy kids, looking so clumsy out there. Speaking of the academy kids, that the kids actually came on and made a good account of themselves. That little Dowman, he looks very direct. He looks motivated. Do I think he'll get any big first team minutes, if at any minutes at all this year? Nah, I don't think. You know, I could see him possibly getting loaned out. I don't know, maybe he could get some EFL Cup games, depending on who we draw. But, you know, who knows? Who knows? I heard he had some hilarious trips, did 29. Brother, I don't know what to make of this guy anymore, man. Like, seriously, like when other footballers look at him, they be like, I cannot get with Havertz as a footballer, let alone someone who you can depend on to win you tight games and subsequently win you a league. He is just not it. He's not it. And if Germany thinking they can go win the World Cup with Kai Havertz up there, oh Lord, who's managing Germany? Is it that Nagelsmann that's still managing Germany? He is in for a rude awakening. I think he played him at left back one time. Right, he is absolute dross, brother. I don't know how, man. He's just. There aren't too many players that I get angry watching play. Like when I watch Kai Havertz, I'm like, brother, 4th division, Kaltenbrunn FC in Germany. I'm playing for Kaltenbrunn FC, and I play with twice the tech of this guy, who's the highest paid player at my football club. Just not. Martinelli looked the same he did during the season. Yeah, I'll take your word for it, and I do believe it because like I said, I didn't catch the first half. I think Trossard came on in the second half. I think Trossard did okay. Moved the ball quickly. And the thing is, we moved the ball quickly, and so we scored a goal. Because if Kivior takes a second touch, Saka is offsides. Trossard plays the ball to him. He bangs it into a dangerous area one time, And it works. This is what happens when your attack is not slow and predictable. Move the ball quickly. And it worked. It absolutely worked. But yeah, big up to Saka. I think Saka did well, but Havertz, man. Havertz. I know Gyokeres watched that game. Wherever he's at, if he's in Sweden, Mallorca, I know he watched that game, and man is just licking his lips, licking his chops, like, yeah, that spot is mine. And if it isn't, then the manager has a vendetta against, because it's widely reported that Sesko is the man that he wanted. He didn't want me, yeah. But if you are Gyokeres and you just watch Havertz do that, you know that on August 17th you have to be starting. But will he? Blunderman might do some madness. Blunderman might do some absolute madness every single time. Ross, a legend. Yet we have reports from medicals in Singapore. Yeah, so I'm hearing that Mascara is in Singapore, going to do his medical and sign a 5-year contract with the club having an option for a 6th year, which is cool because he's 21 years old, right? You can give, long contract to a 21-year-old if you think his ceiling is that high, and potentially losing Saliba next year or the year beyond. But if you're Gyokeres, who the hell are you waiting? Who are you waiting for permission from? Who, brother? So if you have to wait on permission, then the here we go is premature, isn't it? It's finalizing and very, very close. There's only so many varies you can put in front of the close before you just regurgitating the same shit. London man must be so proud. Nothing has changed. It seems like he's gonna now watch the next game. Especially we don't expect Gyokeres to start or play in that game on Sunday. I do expect at the minimum Gyokeres to be in Singapore, like on ground, and maybe play in the Tottenham game, maybe feature. But Havertz is probably going to start against in the Newcastle game and probably play heavy minutes, because I do believe Arteta wants to get him in form for preseason, which as a manager and the other striker isn't here, that's what you have to do, right? You have to start your guy or a guy, because Havertz is technically the only striker. And for who listening and not looking at the screen right now, I got striker in quotations in the squad. Jesus is in September. We know he's not going to play Martinelli there. Maybe Trossard slides in at false line, whatever. But I do think Trossard leaves at the end of this or the end of the transfer window, to be honest. I don't think we go into another season with Trossard and Martinelli as our left wingers. Virtual agreements in the works, yeah. Very close, finalizing the deal, virtual agreement. And there's another one that they haven't came up with yet, because they've went past the targeted, admired, discuss, exploring, keeping tabs on, leading the race to sign, shortlisted, open talks, tracking, closer than before. All that stuff has been exhausted. It's money time now. Absolute money time. Preseason, we have like 3 preseason games in like a 9-day span. He has to get this together. Fabrizio latest was Arsenal and Sporting are they're exchanging electronic mails. Oh my days. It's just, you just had enough, innit? I can't even put that card. I can't even put that card. AFC always said, big up. I am glocked in. Glocked in, he says. AFC always. Fully glocked in and ready, yeah? So here we go, man. Now, Mr. Batten alluded to the PTSD. Until I see man holding up the shirt, I will not do a thumbnail. Nah. Turkish Dan Potts and no. I'll be the guy to sit on everybody's on the playground. I'm just gonna sit here and wait this one out, yeah. Till I see man holding up the shirt. Big up to Dre FC, Liverpool extraordinaire. Arsenal killing the transfer window. Now Arsenal killing their fans. Arsenal are killing their fans with moving like snail mail. Like Arsenal in the transfer window, I've said, move like a damn sloth and a turtle had a baby. Like molasses. Too damn slow. From January till now for Zubimendi, from here we go 10 days ago till now waiting for permission. Like we do transfers in past tense. Yeah, I would argue not much of an argument really that Liverpool is killing the transfer window. Because I was on Jordan Dread TV yesterday with Specs on Man Them podcast, and this chat was littered with Liverpool fans. Littered with Liverpool fans punching me up the entire stream. Because yesterday I was actually on the stream in my Arsenal kit on. Actually got called out for wearing my Arsenal kit yesterday. So, oh, BBK got his happy shirt on. Let me clear that up real quick, people. I have said until Arsenal Football Club starts to win again, I will not wear an Arsenal kit on this platform, on mine. On BBK Sports, you will not see me in an Arsenal kit on this platform. Right? I will not promote the team that way until we start winning. However, yesterday when I'm on with a Newcastle fan, he has his kit on. For the people who don't know who I am or who I represent, I put on the kit. And I also chose the kit specifically that I would wear. Was the last kit that we won a trophy in. That kit that I was wearing yesterday was the kit that we beat Chelsea in 2020 in the FA Cup final. So it represents winning. That's why I wore that one. And the next time you see me in a kit, it will be another kit that we won something else in. But once we start winning or start being serious, yeah, you will see all the kits, all of them. But I can't hide from it. I mean, you can see the Gunner banner right there with all the crests from 1886 all the way till 2002. Just hanging in the background. But for those people who don't know who I am, I had to make the case based on how I was speaking. A lot of people can come into a chat and hear me speak and think this guy must be a Man United fan or a Chelsea fan or a Tottenham fan the way he shits on Arsenal. And then they find out he's the Arsenal fan. They be like, oh my God. Finally, an honest Arsenal fan. And big up to AJ. Hope you are well, bro. Hope you're good, man. Good to see you back in the chat, active. You know, like if you ask man like Views and Shane and the Waffle Don, when we go on other people's platforms and we speak, because I don't change the narrative, like what I say on here is the same message I take over there. When I go on other platforms and I speak, and I go back into the comments and I look, it's usually a wider rate after I get punched up by the chat or Arsenal banter. At the end of it, they all come to the conclusion, oh my God, finally an Arsenal fan that speaks sense. Finally a non-delusional. It's common. Because I've said before over and over and over, even though we are good over here, we are not the majority. The majority of the fans are the Steven Eagles, the Babses. Most of the fans think that way. That's why AFTV has 1.7 million followers. Most of the fan base are very, very happy to do the C words. The two C words, I mean, are the competing, challenging. You know, we got to go a little further down the alphabet now for me to be happy. You know, we got to get down to the W and start doing some winning. Emirates hasn't scored a goal on Newcastle in about 4 games last season. Yeah. Not only did he not score, he looked so out of it. So out of sorts. You know, there was the game at the Emirates when they beat us 2-0 in the semifinal for the EFL Cup. I'm looking at these two men, and I'm like, okay, if you're talking to someone who doesn't know football or a casual who just started following the game, and you say, okay, you see that guy wearing number 14 in the black and white stripes, and you see that guy wearing 29 in the red and white. Which one of them do you think is the highest paid? Like, this guy makes twice as much as this guy plus. Because you look at the Premier League salary chart, Isak on 120, Havertz on 280. And one of them made 2 of the best center backs in the world look nervous. And one of them was just on the ground, rolling around at the feet of Big Dan Burn and Sven Botman the entire game, or Fabian Schär, whoever was playing center back. Absolute madness. Average, man. The guy is just, it makes me, it's a scorn there because I know that there are other footballers who are way better than him who never got the chance to play football. Big up to AJ, man. Big up to AJ. Glad to see you back, man. AJ says, please like the stream, people. What are we saying with the likes? We got 23 watching. We got 10 likes. Big up, people. Okay, that's a 50% engagement rate. I can work with that. But thank you. Big up to AJ, man. Every single time. Let me see what the chat is. I hope you caught the Maybach music mix, AJ. Right around the 8th minute mark, Ross made his entry, so we had to big him up. Big up the man like Darren, badness everywhere. Everywhere. Did you catch the game? Anything else I missed from the first half? Anything I did miss from the first half? You men can let me know because I didn't. That 4:30 wake up to watch a preseason game was tough. But I did catch the second half. I did. It's very difficult for me to sleep past 5 a.m. You know, and you've been getting up early for the past 20 years. Sick German number played at the back. Yeah. So that. Oh, now I got to get this orientation right. So that was my going away gift when I was leaving Grafenberg in 2020. Matter of fact, 2 years ago today, July 23rd, 2023 is when I left Grafenberg. Come back to these United States. And honestly, I wish I could go back. Wish I could go back to Deutschland. Emirates gets a 3 or a 4 and starts the next game. He will. It's preseason. The preseason tax. You know. And Havertz has been fit. It's not like he's fresh off injury. Remember, he did come back and play against Newcastle in the pre-ultimate game of the season. And I think he played in the final game on Super Sunday against St. Mary's as well. But he did come on last season. So Havertz has been back for a good minute. So we can't blame that on – he's just rust. He's just not good. Still blocked at the ATM. Yeah. Arteta done changed the pin. Arteta has changed the pin on the card and didn't tell Bertha. And Bertha is sitting there, you know, and just getting the error. But the thing is that the Q word started from the op fans and pundits. We just got stuck with it. I hear it. I do hear it. But it's part of the banter, isn't it? But the way how the Liverpool fans embraced it, especially in that 2022-23 season, because it was actually a real thing, right? Because if Liverpool can wrap up the domestics, the EFL and the FA Cup, and you were in 1 point of the Premier League, no one in their right mind really counts Liverpool at the Champions League. Because, you know, the Champions League, Liverpool usually does some business. There's some madness in the Champions League. But when you were right there, you know, I know the Man United fans were nervous about it, but no more quiet talk. But as soon as the man wrapped up the EFL Cup in the year when they beat Chelsea, the man were like, yeah, the quad is on. And then it just went. But yeah, you are right with that. Yes, on the right hand side. Yeah, he just tripped over the ball, bro. What is wrong with him? He's the only footballer I know that tackles himself. Pick up the LFC monster. Good afternoon to you, sir. Hope you are good and golden. Pick up to E. Ross. Said, Aaron, bro, what do you think about Havertz Gyokeres situation? In all honesty, I think Arteta going to shoehorn Havertz into the team, maybe left wing, if he dares. Because if he does that, our attack will be worse than last year. Because at least Martinelli can give you a little bit, not enough that what we need, but putting Havertz out on the left is a downgrade on Trossard or Martinelli. Because he doesn't have Martinelli's speed that can get by the man, and he doesn't have Trossard's tech. Can't play in both. And this is the number one reason why the assembled has always said Arteta doesn't want Gyokeres. Gyokeres gives him a selection headache in a bad way. You know, like Timber and Ben White can give him a selection headache in a good way. You got 2 quality right backs. And he's hoping that he gets a selection headache from Raya and Kepa. 2 good goalkeepers, yeah? I know Jason Goon, I know you rate Kepa. Kepa I guess he was good today in the penalty, in the saves, isn't it? And let's be honest, if there's a penalty shootout, we don't want Raya. We don't. David Raya, that memory of him in the Man United, oh my days. We do not want that. But I do not want to see Kai Havertz on the left wing. Like another reason why I don't want Kai Havertz on our left wing, Ross. Nani Madueke is an actual winger, not a right winger, but he is a winger nonetheless. So he knows how to do wing play somewhat, and he did a 007 on the left hand side. So you put Havertz out there, Oh my days, it's long. It's long if we do that. So either or. Right now, Gyokeres is the either. Kai is the or. Kai about to be the most expensive and the most highly paid backup slash rotation substitute in the history of Arsenal Football Club. Martinelli doesn't pass it with the required weight to cross one time. Either probably pings it at him. Yeah, but you're on a training ground all day long. You can work on that. When I was in high school, we used to play NFL football. Like the quarterback, sometimes when they used to sling the ball to you really hard. Sometimes when the cornerback is right up on you, you have to catch it. They have to put some zip on it. So yeah, Havertz pings it at him. Have to work on that touch, my brother. Like when we're at work, man is on the pitch. This is their craft. They have to work on it. But the weight of Martinelli's passes can be way off sometimes. Way off. But they would have worked that out, man. A big up to Yasser, the tax man. Here to collect his money for nonny. We already ran your money for nonny. Don't send us any more your dross. Big up to the tax man still. Mr. Batter said, reading some of the reports on preseason games, seems Ethan was doing bits in the first half. But to be fair, gotta cut them some slack. It's preseason. Singapore is freaking human. Yeah, I cut them some slack. The thing is, like, when I watch the game, I'm looking for like your fundamentals in it. Like, I know you're not gonna be doing gut busting runs in that, but the humidity won't stop you from controlling the ball, or the humidity won't affect your tech. It'll make you sweat and tired a little bit, but in 45 minutes of football, I expected Havertz to be able to control the ball and this with all and over, man. It's like Milan scouted him and know that if you bump him, he's gonna fall over. What happened to him bulking up and being, goal Havertz? Mad one. Wrap up the like, says the tax man. You heard the man, people. Don't let him tax us anymore. Do not piss off Yasser. Man will tell us some more shit. Bro, Havertz was so shit. It looked like he was trying too hard at times. But yeah, preseason tax, like Mr. Barrett said, we'll see how that goes in it. But it's not even a preseason game, is it? Like, we have seen 3 years of this at Chelsea and 2 years of it at Arsenal. Like it's kind of like when people say, okay, I'm giving Arteta 1 more year to see what he does in the 6 years. Okay, you haven't seen enough in 5 years. The 6th year is the cutoff. Your 6th year is going to be the year that broke the straw that broke the camel's back. Another season of Havertz is going to be the one that will be like, okay, now I give up. Like, bro, if you see your kitchen is on fire, you put out the fire. You don't wait until the whole house is engulfed. You know that back in the day, for anyone who's in the chat who's a little older, before sat nav and they had GPS in all the cars, back when you had to go far to go look for a chick or make a run, you had to go on MapQuest and that. Remember them ones, like MapQuest, turn here, go 26.3 miles, turn right, turn left, and you remember them ones. Or sometimes you just rolling around with your homies and man is lost. Man is lost. There's no GPS in the car. There's no sat nav. And man is lost and will not admit that he's lost or will not ask for directions. That Arteta will not admit that Kai Havertz ain't it, that he is lost. And if we see him trying to shoehorn Havertz in the team with Gyokeres, that's him tripling down. Saying, yeah, I need a new striker, but I can't drop this one. I have to try to make it work somehow. Now, the fact that we're still into a striker is the reason why Havertz shouldn't play. Because you put him on that big money expecting that he was going to score goals, isn't it? There is the link for the Taxman, people. Make sure you are subscribing to Yasser TV if you want to get some quality football content, heavy concentration in Chelsea. Big up to the assembles. The question, if bulking up Havertz make him trip over the ball, perhaps he lacks balance, maybe tapping cement be an option. That's the thing. So you remember when we were linked to Sesko, the assembled, when Babs and all these men were making compilations and giving reasons why he was a better option than Gyokeres. One of the reasons why they gave was his height. Or he's 6'5", he's this and that. We have played ball. This is not basketball. The tall men, them on the pitch, has never been the better ones. Height is only an advantage, if you will, if you're a goalie. And sometimes the tall goalkeepers aren't even the best one. Now, the Thibaut Courtois of the world are the anomalies, but a goalkeeper, you want him to be like 6'2" to 6'4". Anything over other than that is going to be very difficult with their reaction time to get down and get back up. But the fact that Havertz is 6 whatever and still so clumsy, yeah, his balance is off, whatever it is, but he's just a clumsy footballer. Clumsy as hell. He's a hard watch. And Ethan first half, oof, Odegaard compared to him looked like a 2-year-old on the pitch. I've even heard Max Diamond looks very direct and very calm on the ball. Odegaard still did some of the Odegaard things. He was on the ground quite a lot as well, but I don't want to say got caught on the ball, but he holds the ball too long sometimes for me, Odegaard. And then when he holds the ball too long, he finds himself in a pack of 3, and sometimes he doesn't really split the defense. I started my life with the mask, and I'm thinking that could be suicide at the end. Yeah, but the mask. Every Arsenal fan is out there with the mask right now. The mask has been unveiled. You can't walk that back. Like I do believe Gyokeres will be an Arsenal fan. Like I can't walk that back either because Rashid got all the clips of me because he was panicking, and he asked me for reassurance, and I'm doubling down. Like, brother, he has to. But the only reason I give for that is that man quit his job under the assurance from Arsenal that we're going to get this deal done by any means necessary. So, I think Bertha knows that Arteta is comfortable with Havertz, wants to make Havertz work. So he can take his time with it. To the expense of us. Was the long sleeve as well. Was a long sleeve out there in the humidity. Ethan played 10, or I think he did play 10. Well, from the lineup that they published, it looked like he was more central. Yeah, and Darren says 10. At Jason Guna TV, I have a TikTok from a week and a half ago with Gyokeres. Here we go. Mr. Robo, I saw that short on YouTube. Like I'm not on TikTok, but I did see that short. But all the man them that are typically cautious, right? The Dan Potts of the world, Turkish. I think Turkish has done 2. Turkish did one for the first Here We Go 9-10 days ago, and he did another one yesterday from Singapore. And these men are with the club, with his AFTV boss, with the AFTV, with the insiders. So they would know. But I do think the deal happened. I do. That stream with Specs was fun last night. Red brother. The Liverpool man in the chat was lucky. I got some thick skin, luckily. That man were punching hard at me. When I said I got asked the question, if Arteta wins the EFL Cup, does he stay? And I was like, no, I don't think an EFL Cup after $1 billion spent is enough. And there was, I don't know if he was an Arsenal fan, but there were a couple of people in the chat be like, man, you can't please Arsenal fans if he wins this. And I'm like, no, I didn't say that, brother. Because the question was asked a couple minutes later when he asked me, okay, if he wins the Premier League or a Champions League, does he stay? I'm like, bro, that goes with our answers. You win, you stay. But after $1 billion spent, you're meant to be challenging for major honor. EFL Cup after $1 billion. And I've also said, in my own defense, I said if he does a domestic double, I'll have a hard time making a case to sack a manager after 2 trophies. But then Specs wanted to add more context. Well, what if he wins the Champions League and finish 15th? I'm like, nah, bro, you're going too far, man. You're going too far. You go to LFC Monster. Darren says Saka played his regular position. Yeah, Saka is on point. That boy cannot be displaced. If he can walk, if he plays. His hamstring has to be off the bone. If it's a partial tear, he plays. He only gets if it's a full tear. That being Guna said, Chelsea has submitted a bid for Hato and getting closer to Simon, for fuck's sake. Yeah, so Chelsea, they're just stockpiling, Stockpile FC. Because Chelsea, Hato is he a left back or center back? I think he's more of a left back, isn't he? Chelsea still have Ben Chilwell, Champions League winner, on their books. Cucurella is, best left back in the league. Yes, sir. Simmons, what is Simmons? Is Simmons the 10 left winger? I don't know, but the way Chelsea these deals will probably get done before Eze. And I guess I don't want to say happy, but I guess I'm calm with Chelsea being closer to Simmons. That means they're staying away from Eze, which means we still have a shot at getting the Emirates Eze. Yeah. Allegedly, the terms of the new contract. Big up to Jason Goonigas. A lot of us are on the line right now. Yeah, but like typically, man like Jason don't go with what the masses are saying. And like you see the masses are doing that, you don't usually do that. And this was one of the cases. But I get it. The elation of finally signing a striker, especially the one that we think best suits our team to give us the best chance to win a trophy. I'm absolutely happy about it. It's just the fact that I may not sound happy because one, it took too damn long, and two, I need men in Singapore with his teammates. And how many here we goes are we gonna get before we realize that you need to move on to the next story and go start milking the second part. We can stay to see and say champions. Bullet. I like it. Yeah, but we need to get to the C. We need the G on the 9, block 9. But all those pictures yesterday floating around of the photo shoot of men wearing the number 14 shirt. Yeah, that sent chills throughout the Gooniverse yesterday. Man started the smiling, and even people, even if, and this might be another downer, might sound like I'm being negative again. But even with Gyokeres coming in and the Eze, I still feel like we're a little bit off it. I still think we're behind. Because one, man, them haven't trained together. And Liverpool and City have pretty much had their team. They're doing their preseason right now as we speak. And we do not have the boots on ground yet. Still think we are behind it a little bit. They placed the Jackson at 70 mil and Jackson or Rodrigo is the conundrum. Who's gonna pay 70 million for Jackson? Man United, they better not. Because if they do that, then they can no longer cut Ten Hag for signing Anthony for 85 million. Every situation is a bit worrying, says LFC Monster. Giving news early as the transfer window came out saying he's expected to play a lot of minutes next season. That worries. I mean, if the reports are that he's going to play a lot of minutes, then we can't play 12, innit? So who's going to sit? If this is true, that gives credence to what the assembled was saying of him playing left wing, which no one wants to see that. No one wants to see that. The assembled apparently Leipzig have dropped the price of Sesko 60 mil. And this, I mentioned this yesterday to the Jordy Dredd. I said there are going to be a lot of unpopular moves towards the end of the transfer window, and this was one of them. Then Leipzig realized that they screwed the pooch and played hardball and ended up with egg on their face. I forgot who said it last night, but they said they were seeing Arsenal fans already with the Gyokeres jerseys. Yeah, I believe it. Them damn bootleggers and those those vintage, the man them that make the vintage kits right now, because when the fan base was toxic and no one was going into the armory, man them was saying, yo, we aren't supporting the club. We ain't going to the armory to buy kits. I want to wear the Arsenal kit. I want to represent. The man was ordering the JVC and the O2 kits. Them man there, yeah, they're making those Gyokeres kits. Make your money back from the club that the club has cost you over these past years, isn't it? One of the local channels here in Singapore has a snippet of Arteta post-match where he's saying, I wish there was more people in the stadium supporting us. Comment section, killed him. Man thought he's in America, yeah? They do get good support when they come here. And I think Arsenal will probably make the decision that next preseason tour, they'll probably the World Cup is here next year, isn't it? So that might be tricky. Might be tricky next year, but I'm sure they wish they were in these United States because the stadiums over here were packed, bro. Packed. When he had a brilliant turn and shot that was saved that he killed Pavlovich on the wrong wing. Mad skill. That's what he does, man. But, Arteta may not like that flair. He wants to control and pass the ball into the net. If Seska goes for 10 to 20 million cheap, Arteta's going to be crying in his pillow. I told you. Wait it out. Oh, he better not. This would be criminal. This would send us into a meltdown. All the man them that did the mask would be mudded. The entire club would be mudded. Gyokeres' career would be over. He'll be in Saudi because he can't go back to Porto. And the thing with Gyokeres, right? Football has been around so long with celebrations and so uniqueness. Back in the day, Roger Miller and them man used to do that, team celebrations. The knee slide is old. Celebration, it's hard to come up with celebrations in it. So when you have an original celebration that's your own, that's a brand in and of itself. Especially when you score goals at a high rate. So he comes to the Premier League and gets to do this 20 to 22 times next season in the Champions League. His brand is built up even bigger. That's why he's confident in giving up so much money to come to Arsenal. One, he's going to be paid well, and he backs himself to score goals and build his brand with a simple celebration. You could see man on milk cartons and Wheaties box and all kind of shit doing celebration. You might see him in a kids movie, in a Disney movie. You might cast him with one of these Marvel characters, like that. 60 million now apparently. The assembly there is no delay. Stop being toxic and negative. Yeah, man, the negative. I get called the N-word all the time, the negative. In every group chat that I'm in, I'm the N-word. The negative guy. Then we the last minute pivot to Sesko. Oh my days. Now I tell you, the United stand and all you can eat Chelsea, brother. The internet would have a field day with Arsenal fans. The meltdown. I'm here for it. Yep. I'll be right there with you, Latvian Guna. We'll be talking about Chris Paul going to the Clippers and the average age of the Clippers being 36. Time at home and that. Be right there with you, my brother. Talking about NBA and NFL. You're doing NBA instead. Not supporting the Chicago Bulls, not. The New York Knicks are halfway decent now, so I can actually do more NBA content. Don't celebrate too soon, bruv. He could be the partner to Gyokeres. Yeah. Maybe not often. We would have to travel back to the 90s for that. Yeah, man. Yeah, but yeah, if we do a pivot on this, 1-0 to Arsenal. Big up to Dal, the Oregon Guna. I almost feel like Arteta will use the excuse to start Havertz over Gyokeres. As we all say, he just got here and Gyokeres needs to adapt to the league. Yeah, he's going to ease him in, brother. He's not throwing Gyokeres into the fire. He's literally playing. I really do believe that he wanted to sub Havertz at halftime with Ethan, with Martinelli. He wanted to sub him out then. But he was so bad, he's trying to play him into form. And then the 66th minute came and he took out Saka. He took out Ben White, and he took out Rice. I believe he wanted to take Havertz out then, but couldn't because he was so bad. So he played him an additional 20 minutes trying to get him something. And he still. And if you were, I don't know if they do bets on FanDuel or whatever, but if they have a minute restriction on Kai Havertz for the bets, the over-under, you'd probably play 75 to 80 minutes the next game while everyone else is subbed at halftime, unless he bangs in the first half. If Arsenal were 2-3-0 up in the first half, Havertz brace, he doesn't see the pitch second half. Because then Arteta wouldn't want him to mud up that performance in the second half. Pull him out on a high. He reportedly scored against Watford. Bang a brace against Milan. And then you save him for Newcastle. And he builds up that profile, builds up that cachet. So on August 17th, he walks him out. I'm starting to think if Madueke was there, would he have played today? Like that. LFC Monster say, who thinks Arteta has an actual game plan for Gyokeres, considering the last player he was planning for was Sesko? Yeah, he don't want this. He don't want this, but this is the sandwich. This is the shit sandwich he has created, and he's gonna have to eat it. You can't be needing goals the way we need goals, and turn down the most proven goal scorer available. That wouldn't make sense. Now, typically, Arsenal don't do a lot of things that make sense, but this would be such a blunder. Even he can't deny that we need a Gyokeres in the team. I think a Gyokeres would have bullied AC Milan today. Big up to Dana, just joined. Big up yourself and all the chat. Thoughts on Max Diamond, loving the fearlessness in his game. Yeah. Fearlessness is probably a better word. So basically, Dana, you just said what I just said, but smarter. I said he's much more direct, but fearless is probably the right word. He looks so comfortable on the ball, aggressive. He has something about him. Yeah, but I do think he needs to play regularly. Keep him in the squad, loan him to the championship, let him get a good season of football. Because I really don't think Arteta will play him first. If he's not playing Ethan, who's clearly ready, I don't think he will play this guy. Lithuanian is a crime in Singapore. Havertz at the airport crying. Havertz at the airport crying while Gyokeres at the other airport be like, yeah, brother, I need to start. I need to start because this guy cannot be the guy that's going to take minutes away from me. Did I just get a raid? Like 46 in the building. Big up, people. Make sure you are slapping the likes as you pop into the stream. Big up to Shane Guna, the legend. If you haven't checked out me and Shane streamed earlier this week, you can go check that out as well. It wasn't the Arteta rant show. We were actually Shane actually had some fantastic points like he always does. And this wasn't like the previous stream where we did 10, 20 reasons why Arteta should have been sacked. No, we're gonna do another one. But big up to Shane Guna, the absolute legend. Shane Guna, we're going to credit Shane as the founder. Well, not the founder, but the captain of the resistance. Like Lee Gunner and Northside, them man, and Kenny Ken and DJB, they are the founders of the resistance. But Shane Guna is the captain that's leading the resistance against these mutants that are trying to destroy our club. But big up to Shane and big up to all 49 of you locked in. Make sure you are hitting those likes as you pop in the stream. And subscribe to the channel while you're at it. If you feel like, nothing mandatory around here. It is a safe space. Big up to Loudmouth Football. Yudi, what you saying to me, bro? How was Gyokeres? Gyokeres is in a hotel room watching that Arsenal performance, and he's feeling good about his chances to be the starting number 9 for Arsenal Football Club. There is no way he did not watch this game. There is no way he sat and did not watch the team that he's going to play football. And he watched that. And if he saw what we saw, maybe footballers at the professional level look at football differently. But if he saw, we've kicked ball. I've kicked ball, and I'm pretty sure most of you in here kick ball. If he saw what we saw, man is feeling good about himself, thinking, yeah, there is no way. There is no way I'm not starting for Arsenal this upcoming season. Because that right there was, I said he left his passport in Sweden. Oh my days. Now, Loudmouth, hey, Yudi and Mr. Batter. Now, would you take Sesko? Would you take Sesko at Liverpool to back up Ekitike and or Isak? Because I don't think Sesko comes to the Premier League and is like an outright starter for most Premier League clubs. I actually think Arteta was going after Sesko to be a backup. I don't think he wanted Sesko as a primary option. His primary option is who he let out today. Clumsy Kai, tackling himself, falling over the ball. Like being good, and that's what I said he's going for. I feel like he don't know how to integrate Gyokeres into the team. Right, he's gonna have a problem. Hence, why I have a problem with him not being there. Because time is not your friend, Arteta. Throughout the course of the season, time is not your friend. And if you're going to have issues integrating Gyokeres into the team, you should be raising hell to get him into Singapore right now so he can train, so you can integrate him in matches of matches that are inconsequential, right? These preseason matches are of no consequence, right? Other than some pride of not losing to Tottenham in a couple of days, these matches mean nothing. They're for fitness and for formation types, integration. It's just wordplay, isn't it? Simple wordplay. No GPS at Arsenal. We're lost, brother. Lost. This man just keep going around in circles and will not admit that we're lost. Ask for some damn directions. Like that. LFC Monster, this is a massive worry. Gyokeres at this pace will be our new number 6. And we will never get the best out of him if he has to come back and do all that defending. I mean, I didn't get much time to analyze Zubimendi's play today. Maybe anyone in the chat that was keen on Zubimendi can tell me how he played, based on his passing range and what I do. He does look comfortable on the ball, and he does look like he doesn't do a whole lot of side passing. I think Deckers do a lot of safe passes. Most of the passes that I did see from Zubimendi were progressive passes, so that's a plus. I can hear that. I can hear that Zubi was a progressive passer. At the Latvian Guna, we can't afford 280K, and although he's as techie as the national team players, we're shite, bro. He might actually fit right in. Oh my days! If I say what I want to say, these top Gunas, I'll get banned, brother. Yeah. If you know, Eros. Yeah. When was the last time Arsenal played with a big number 9 target man and not someone who likes to run the channels? Yeah, that's a great question, LFC Monster. But that's what we need, because this is what center backs hate. Center backs do not like big, strong number 9s running at them. That's why Erling Haaland came to the league and scored like 40-something goals his first season. Big, strong, fast, and just running that man, making defenders uncomfortable. I used to rate Ethan Pinnock as one of the best center backs in the league at Brentford, and I see him, man, looks like when Erling Haaland is running at him, man, giving you the deer in the headlight look. Like, what do I do? Am I supposed to chase after him? Even Lee Gunner was happy at the signing. Yeah, brother. Man was happy at the signing because we know that we need this. We absolutely know that we need this, but we're not moving like we should. To be fair, Giroud was successful, but Arteta weren't there though. From outside looking in, it's going to be interesting how Arteta uses Gyokeres. And the team going to change the way to play, or is Gyokeres? Yeah, that's a great point. But when you the team last year, hard to beat, right? Only lost 5 games, U14, right, or whatever. Hard to beat, created a whole lot of chances that Havertz couldn't get on the end of. We just need Gyokeres to get on the end of those crosses that are coming in from Saka, and we need Odegaard to play it. When we have the ability to turn teams over. When you turn man over, play the ball through, and let Gyokeres do Gyokeres things. Because he's one of those strikers that's going to need service. So you give it to him and see what he does with it. The striker he's had as Alba and Laka. One needed to be at left wing back. The other was a number 6. Yeah, Lacazette was on the damn halfway circle, on the halfway line when the ball was in the box. He was just too slow. Monster, can you stop asking sensible questions and good observation? As you know, as a toxic and negative, you're supposed to say a blunderman is the greatest thing to happen to football. Yep, greatest thing to ever happen to football, and we can never ever question anything. We can just follow him blindly off of a cliff in a 4th title card that's going to end up in failure. The worst chat I saw was Aaron on TFT. Man, that was a mutant infested. So Aaron was on the terrace yesterday, yeah? Yeah, I didn't catch all of that. I catch the part that I caught was that LB from that City fan from that was, I think he was his segment, and he was just on some waffle thing, and I wasn't trying to hear it, because all these other fans of other clubs, they love Arteta. They prop him up and they talk about, hey man, he is good, he's this, he's that. Give him one. No. They want him to stay. They weren't begging for Klopp to stay. No, none of those City fans are begging for Klopp to stay, but these men are begging Arteta to stay. Get out of here, man. Nesta looked the sharpest out of them. Martinelli and Trossard preseason. Reese always cooks. Reese has looked sharp a lot of times. I've seen Reese look sharp, cut, but it's so short-lived. I see Reese he'll do a madness in one game, and then the next game he just runs like a headless chicken. But I think Fulham is Reese's level. I think Reese, Eddie, ESR. I think for Arsenal to go to that next step, like we have to move on from the Reeses. The same way. If we can move on from Smith Rowe, who I think was better than Reese, we have to move on from Reese. Dana says, I'm gassed to see Gyokeres in this team. I will be gassed to see Gyokeres in this team. The chance that Trossard had on the plate, Gyokeres scores that. Fair, yeah. Goal scoring instincts, they don't just go away because it's a different league. Somehow Nelson looked better than Martinelli and Trossard. It's not very hard to look better on the ball on Martinelli, man. That Martinelli, he's just like, people question his Brazilian citizenship at this point. I would argue Chelsea are a proper center back and a goalkeeper away from being a huge problem. Yeah. Chelsea's defense, yeah. But they just won the Club World Cup with that goalkeeper and that defense, But Jordy Dredd asked me yesterday if I'm concerned about Chelsea, and I'm like, hell yeah, I'm on. Hell yeah. Any Arsenal fan who tells you that they're not concerned about Chelsea, either they're this full-blown Top Gooner drinking Kool-Aid, or they're being disingenuous because they're scared of some banter. Because can you imagine if Chelsea does all that and come back and wins the Premier League title before Arsenal? Oh, my days. Oh, my days. Because we were cussing the shit out of Chelsea and trolling the shit out of them when they spent $1 billion and were languishing in 10th and finished 12th the year before. So now they're picking up trophies 2 in 1 year on our head tops. I was in the chat with Aaron. Mutants went all ape shit. I was wondering where the mods were. Yeah, brother. What? I need to go watch it. What did they didn't get out of character. Were they going at Aaron or they were saying, other crazy shit? Wow, damn. Brother. But many months ago when I first streamed Aaron on the Bruised Banana with Shane, big up Shane again. Like he used to allude to, I get 1 or 2 mutants that pop up in my chat, and I'm like, brother, the way you're moving in, because Aaron's channel was flying at the time, and I'm telling him, boy, you're about to find out, because the way your channel is moving, you're gonna be on these much bigger platforms, and it's gonna be mad. There's no accountability in the fan base, and there's no accountability for the manager. We are a minority big time, and until Arteta gets sacked, we are gonna hear something but BS excuses from the Top Gunners. Yeah, I'm very curious to see what the excuses are going to be this season. That's why I want a Rodrigo. That's why I want a Eze. Because in the world where we get an Eze and a Rodrigo, he has a striker, maybe not the striker he wants, but it's the striker the team needs, in my humble opinion. You'll have 2 of the best wingers in the world. You'll have a creative player to play alongside Odegaard, and you have the best defense in the Premier League 2 years in a row. Wagwan. Then you must, and then if you don't must, he would have to go. So, and then when he does go, when he doesn't win with that team, and he does go, a manager comes into a good team. Like when Jurgen Klopp walked and left Arne Slot with a good team. But the longer he stays here, the next manager is going to come and have to do what Top Gunners, I think Arteta is doing with this team. LFC Monster, my days, that picture you got there, brother. you think you guys just keep doing what you're doing, is in the end you're the ones that's gonna be proven right. But that's the thing. I don't want to. I want to be wrong so bad. I want to be so mudded, brother. He needs you on his PR team, just like you had 4 ideas in no time. BBK knows about the Bulls acting tough as if the Knicks were in a crap. Hey, brother, we've been shit since '99, brother. This was our first conference final in 25 years. So I know we've been shit. Big up to Darren, said, Colties use the same buzzwords all the time. You're negative. Stop moaning. You're not a real fan. Back the manager, back the team. I hate this back the manager, back the team. I don't have to believe in Arteta to believe in Arsenal, Like I told Jordy Dredd yesterday, brother, man became a paid employee of my football club in 2011. I came on board in 1991. I got 20 years on you, bro. I will lose no sleep. And how dare Specs? How dare you ask me if he goes trophyless again? Should I keep him? Man, I thought, brother, are you serious? And I think if he gets top four comfortably, I think that if it's up to the owners, they keep him. It's up to the stakeholders of the football club, the fans, to hold the club accountable because the managers won't do it. The owners won't do it. You're not a real fan. We don't claim you. Plastic. Fuck off down the road. Yeah, down the lane and more. Right. It's at this point that stuff it doesn't stick. It just bounces off. It just bounces off. It just bounces off because I can't hear it. I'm just getting to the Shane Rays, man. Big up, man. I hope some of you big up to Lion Tex in the building. Big up to you, my bro. I'm sure you're smashing them lights like he said. Hopefully a couple of you guys subscribing will come back to the BBK Sports Football Digest. Big up Gavin Legend. Hope you are well. I saw about a minute of Shane and views and it was a fan debate. Average dopamine levels madness. But I don't know how. Big up to Godfrey, man. What a legend. Always popping in here showing love. Big up to you, man. Big up to Bradley Driscoll. Views and Shane Guna had to break down Pinky debate. Pink eye debate with a United fan. He's so clueless. Man, big up to Shane, man, because he has a lot of patience. He does have a lot of patience, and he's very good at breaking stuff down, numbers that matter. To the conversation to sway these top rookies, man, because they just can be unbearable sometimes. I completely messed the game. What were the takeaways? Big up to Dr. Seymour Butts. My takeaways, I only caught the second half, Dr. Seymour Butts, but Havertz is still shit. The manager was trying to play him into form by playing them 80 minutes. And Max Diamond looks good. Ethan looked good. And yeah, that was about it. 1-0 to the Arsenal. Saka scored. Good build up. Moved the ball quickly. Scored. Lost on pens. And Kepa looked good in goal on the shootout. So yeah. Other than that, we move. Big up to Jimbo. No Tesco at Anfield. Oh man. Big up to this guy. Big up to Wyoming. Which man who would you take as manager if Arteta goes? I would take Iraola from Bournemouth. I would take what's his name, man? The guy that's at Frankfurt right now. I can't remember his name. But the point is, right? If you ask most Liverpool fans last year if they knew who Arnslot was, most of them didn't. So I'd take Simeone. I'll take Inzaghi. I'll take any of these, man. But I don't think we would. Especially while Bertha is here and even Simeone reportedly fell out. But, when people tell me that they wouldn't take a manager from lower down the table, I'm old enough to remember that we got George Graham from Millwall in it. So, that worked out pretty good for us. And there's you get another manager, you give him 2 years. And either he bangs or he goes. But big up to Wyoming. Appreciate you checking in. Any updates on Eze? We need him, especially if they're watching that performance today. Yeah. Apparently, Eze talks have been ongoing, and Arsenal are trying to pay the release clause in 3 installments, which is 60-something mil, unless Eze re-signs with a new release clause of 85 million or something. Then we'll be told he can't afford him now. He has priced himself out of the market. But we better. If we're going to get Eze, we must go get him before Crystal Palace lose any more players. That's my biggest fear. Because Crystal Palace are not trying to be embarrassed at Wembley by Liverpool. We need a left winger badly. We are so lopsided towards the right, and the same as last season. Yeah, and I do not want to hear anything about Havertz being over there on Madueke. I've seen enough from them, man, in their most comfortable positions. I don't want to see them, man, out of position. They'll be even worse. What? Yeah, I like this one. Any other manager who has won trophies? Yeah. You up to that. I like that one. Observation question. Why do you think our strikers will be getting injured defending our own penalty box? Yeah, the fitness and the medical staff at Arsenal have something to answer for, Getting that many hamstring injuries last year, surely they have like data on these players and just how much miles they're putting in for club and country and in training. But yeah, there's something off there. Doc, he's getting slower and clumsy, and yeah, too much muscle mass. Yeah. Oh my days. Big up the Sun. I'll take Mourinho, who But who's to say there is not a low key name around like when we took Wenger from? Yeah, yep, took Graham, and we took George Graham from Millwall. So I'm not turning my nose up at Iraola from Bournemouth. You know, shit, we took Kepa from Bournemouth. Fuck, you know. So, oh yeah, no, well, yeah. Big up to Jimbo. We're all begging for Arteta to stay. We don't want to lose out on that. Big up to Jimbo. Jimbo's sense of humor is on fire today. Nelson on that 100K contract though. Yeah. So yeah, Berta, you have nothing to do with that, mate. Giving you all the grades for outgoings. He had nothing to do with none of these dead contracts. Arteta's fingerprints and DNA are all over these bad contracts, Prime Steve. But Chelsea need to sell a few more players so they can get that. Yeah, they need to sell us a few more players. So yeah, look out for Arsenal and for Dewsbury Hall and for Fafana and that. You know, and can get back to his form from the ACL. You remember back in what 2020, 2021 when Fafana was him and Saliba played together in France, and Fafana was supposed to be the better one. So yeah, now they'll be linking up back at Arsenal. You know. Yeah, we beat them. Penalties, Asian Cup trophy. The preseason penalty shootouts is a mad one, man. They're living rent free in Tapuna's heads, and that's what you need. You know, if they agree with everything you say, that they're not bothered. You know, when they start to pop up in your chat, that's when you've hit a nerve. They don't pop up in my chat too often, but they do pop up in a couple of my shorts, and they say some vile things. But you know, like I said, you know, the skin is thick. I have no feelings. You know, when you do 23 years in the army, your feelings go away. You know, Doc, I think Gyokeres improves the attack line massively, but if Arteta doesn't change tactics to suit him, he might struggle. But I don't want to see Havertz anywhere near the starting squad. And that's the thing. If you're a Gyokeres, you're 27, you know how to score goals. At some point during the game, you're going to tune the manager out. You ain't going to be looking over there for his signals. You know, the ball comes to you, you do what striker does, man. Your instincts take over and you go do you. You know? Jimbo said, not getting Rodrigo, he's coming either to Anfield or Munich. Yeah. He's the but at this point, it seems like a pipe dream. Yeah. And the way we're moving. If we were linked to Rodrigo today, we might get the deal done by January. And that's being nice. You know. That's being nice. Would you guys take Eddie Howe as your next manager? Eddie Howe has won. Eddie Howe went to a final with Newcastle, who lost. Went back to another final and won before Arteta made it back to another final. So, yep. Monitoring, interested in all that, my brother. Big up to the Waffle Don. Hope you are well, my bro. In fact, it's not the fans' job to know who to appoint, but fans have a right to demand a change if it ain't working. That's how it's always been. So when people tell me that the hiring and firing doesn't work, and I have to kindly remind people that the teams that have done the most chopping and hopping over the past 20 years have won the most trophies. And those teams are Bayern Munich, Chelsea, and Real Madrid. And Kepa Esparza was on the channel, and he was like, well, what about City? You're bro. Why would they fire Pep? You don't chop and change when you're winning. But let's not act like Pep winning started at Man City when Pep came. They won with two different managers in 2012 and 2014. So yes, statistically speaking, the teams that chop and change the most win the most in this modern era over the past 20 years. Eddie is good, but I don't think he gets over the line either. That's fair. Darren Martin, those Stamford Bridge waste merchants are real deadweights. Have they mentioned what Nani Madueke is on? Now, apparently he is still on there or thereabouts money that he was on at Chelsea. If that's the case, well done, Berta. Maybe that was the compromise. Berta said, you can get this player, but we're not going to put him on any big wages. If you really want him that bad, we're not going to lure him with money to Arsenal. If he wants to be here, he can come play for you because you want him. But we're not going to do this. Oh, go get Havertz and put him on 280 a week madness. Nope, not doing it. Darren says, still top secret. I think they're avoiding another meltdown as long as they can. Oh, my days. Another meltdown is coming. Did you see any improvements in the way we played today compared to last season? Didn't. Too early to tell still. I think like the third or fourth preseason game, especially if Gyokeres was there, you could get a better analysis of how the team would look. By the third and fourth preseason game, the team should actually start to take shape, and then we will have an idea of what is actually his actual starting lineup will be on August 17th. 50 million a year. 50 million, more than £1 million a month. Individually, there were differences, but we still see the shit Arteta ball of slow build up, boring backward passing football. Yeah, and that's what I was alluding to. The minute that we moved the ball quickly, we scored. Imagine that. Imagine that. He got screaming from his crow's nest. After that 1 minute of slow, I saw Shane and Fuse stream he was at its average dopamine levels now. Right up. I don't know how. I don't know how we get out of this rut. Because it's gonna be like a never-ending cycle of Arteta supporters not winning close, but not winning close, winning close and close and closer. It's kind of like the Arteta stay at Arsenal is kind of linked with how this Gyokeres deal is going, yeah, where it's agreed, close, very close, virtually agreed, finalizing, almost everything but done, everything but the finish line. It's like and the goalpost will get ready for the goalpost to be moved. Is what I'm saying. Yeah, you should be looking at the AC Milan goalkeeper. Gonna be a top keeper. Yeah, it seemed like he was good. How old is he? What's seems like he was good. Is he an Italian guy? Berto's Italian. He can not that guy. I got 35. Okay, he got subbed. He came on and got man of the match, didn't he? Lorenzo Torriani, 20 years old. Hey, if you get a 20-year-old goalkeeper, maybe next year Arteta won't have to buy another goalkeeper because this one would actually have time to develop. Jimbo, in my opinion, but underman wages must include some sort of profit share. Even the countries can't be that diluted. And you would think, right, being the richest sport enterprise in the world, they're not dumb. They are not dumb. They are smart people. So, you don't become that rich being stupid. But what can we do? Big up to Jimbo. Big up to the assembled. Big up to 28 of you still locked in, people. 28 of you locked in. We got 26 likes. I appreciate that engagement. Big up to every single one of you who checked in. Big up to the Waffle Don, Jimbo, the assembled, Dr. Seymour Butts, Journeyman, Journeyman, Proctologist. Stumbled over my words there. Big up to everyone who came over from Shane. Gonna leave it there. People got to do some more physical therapy on this ACL. We pray for Arsenal. Until next time, people, take care of yourselves and each other. We are gone.